What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be reviewing and telling you guys about the Nova TDR EQ. Okay guys, so like I said, today I'm going to be reviewing the Nova TDR EQ. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go into Logic here and we're going to open up our EQ. Now, one of my subscribers asked me to do a review on this and how to actually use it for beginners. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. So let's dive into it. Okay guys, the first thing I want to mention to you guys about this EQ is that this EQ is not just an EQ. It's also a compressor. And one of my favorite things about this EQ and compressor is that you can actually compress the frequencies what you want to compress. So if you're in a certain frequency, let's say 500 hertz that you're in, that you want to control better, you can just compress 500 hertz and not even worry about compressing the whole track. You can just compress that one frequency. That is one thing that you can do with this EQ and compression, is you have so much control over so many other things that other EQs and other compressors don't. Now with this EQ, you can use this EQ as a parametric EQ and you can use it as a dynamic EQ. So there's two ways that you can use this EQ in Nova TDR EQ. Okay guys, so the EQ works the same way as any other EQ would work. Is you grab the bands and you can drag them around like any other EQ would. Okay, so very simple to use this EQ. Now one thing you need to know about the EQ is the way you set the Q for the EQ is with your mouse wheel. So what you're going to do is to set your Q, you pull up a frequency and then you use the mouse wheel to actually use to get your bandwidth, how wide you want to make your bandwidth or how narrow you want to make it. So use the mouse wheel to do that. Now clicking on one of the bands, once you click on a band and you start dragging, it will display all the information right down below on the EQ. So you will know what frequency you're cutting, you're boosting, and all of the information will be right down below. Another great thing about this EQ is that every single band can actually be switched to a low or high shelf. So right down here in this area where I'm pointing, I will put a marker so you know where I'm pointing to. You can click on one and you can switch each EQ band, sorry about that, to a low or high shelf, or you can switch it to a bell curve too. So you get to choose what type of EQ you want to use by using a low shelf, a high shelf, a bell curve. Just choose what you want right down here and you're good to go. To turn on your high pass filters and your low pass filters, over here on the side, I'll also mark this also. You can choose your high pass filter right here, and right here you have your frequency range. So you can choose how high you want to bring your high pass filter up, and then right here you have your scoop. Next to it you have your low pass filter to activate your lows. Then down here the same is where you're going to choose your frequency range and your scoop. So that's where you're going to control your filters from. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is let's go through the EQ and I'll explain what everything is. So like I said, over here on the side, you have your high pass filters and your low pass filters. Now, up here at the top, this is how you're going to choose your EQ, your bands, and how you're going to actually activate them. So, these is an on button. So now these buttons below your bands have to be on, the on button, to actually add in a band. So if this on button is off, then you're not going to get a band there. So let's say all these on buttons are off. You don't have any more bands left. So to work with the EQ or the compressor, those on buttons have to be on. So let's turn all these off. on. Okay, now right below that, we have our high pass filter, our shelves EQ. Now these shelves EQ are great because, like I said, each and every band can be used as a shelf or a bell curve. Every band in the EQ. Now, right below it, we have our Q. Now, like I said before, is that you can actually use the mouse wheel, to actually control the Q too. So I find that easier. That's the way I do it. I use the mouse wheel. Next to that, you have your frequency. So whatever band that you're on, let's say you're on this first band, this is the frequency wheel that you're going to use to slide all across the frequency spectrum. Next to that, we have our gain, how you're going to boost your EQ to get it above or below the 0 line. Now next to that, we have our compression. Like I said, this EQ is not just an EQ, it's also a compressor. So like I said, you can actually compress different frequencies so that you don't have to compress the entire track that you recorded. You can just compress that one frequency. So let's say you want to get a good sound out of a guitar. You can literally get that frequency to boost more by using compression on it too. So just that one frequency you can compress. That's what makes this compressor and EQ so powerful. Okay, so next to that, we have our dry mix, and then our EQ gain and output gain. So the output gain is literally where you're going to control the volume that's going into the EQ and out. Another cool thing about this EQ is you can drag your mouse all the way across like this to actually activate all the bands on the EQ, and then you can grab one and actually drag all of them all at once. That's a cool feature on this EQ too. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do now is show you guys the compressor and how it actually works. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I have a kick drum track right up here, and I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to use the threshold to bring it down and show you how it starts to compress the kick drum. So check this out. So you hear the kick drum. Now it sounds kind of like whammy and it doesn't sound that good, so I'm going to make it fatter. So what I'm going to do is watch these bands. Watch this yellow band, and then I'm going to bring the threshold down and watch what happens. You see how it starts to compress the kick drum? Now, the one thing is, what it's doing is it's compressing the entire frequency spectrum, because a human ear can hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. You've heard me talk about that in the past in my EQ videos. Now, the thing is, since it's compressing the entire frequency spectrum, all of those bands, the one great thing about this EQ is that you can choose a band, like I said, and compress that one band that you took that band and put it on a frequency. So let's say I'm boosting or cutting 500 hertz. I can set this EQ up to only compress 500 hertz so you don't compress the entire track. Okay guys, so like I said, right now I'm going to show you guys how to actually use the compressor on one band so you can control that frequency that you want to control with compression. So pretty much what you're going to do is, if all of these bands are on, choose one band that you want to use in that frequency that you want to compress. Then what you want to do is just take all of these other ones off. Now, and since I'm using a kick drum, for example, what I'm going to do is use the low end in the first band on this EQ. So I choose the first one, and now take a listen. Okay, so as you can see, it's still compressing the entire frequency spectrum, right? Because this whole thing is coming down. So what we're going to do now is over here on the side, there's this thing called band solo. You want to click on that. Now, take a look. So once you have that on, the band solo, you want to actually click on. Now take a look to this. It's only compressing that frequency. That is it. Guys, this is how great this EQ and compressor works. You literally have so much control over everything. You can literally use this one plugin on an entire mix and not even pull up one compressor. The only thing you would need for an entire mix is this EQ. But once you get to the reverb and delay and automation, of course you have to use that. But for EQ and compression, you can use this EQ throughout the entire mix and just this plugin for EQ and compression. Just take a look how it compresses that one frequency that I have it on. And that frequency is about 71 hertz I'm compressing right now. This EQ, it has to be one of my favorite EQs, guys. It is amazing. Guys, go try it out. It's free and it sounds incredible. And if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and make it turn gray. And also turn on post notifications so that you guys are notified whenever I have a brand new video out. Alright guys, don't forget to follow me on my social medias at Twitter and Instagram, because every single day I send a new tweet out letting you guys know what is coming up on the channel. Either it's a live stream on Wednesdays or it's a video during the week. So follow me on my Twitter and my Instagram to let you guys know what new videos are coming out and when I do my live stream at what time. Also, don't forget to follow me over at Sessions Live, because every Thursday I also go live on Sessions Live doing a musical performance. So make sure you go check that out too. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all the support. Guys, this video was actually asked by one of my subscribers, so I did it for him. I do anything I can to help my subscribers out, guys. I do whatever I can to go out of my reach to actually give you guys the best content and the best reviews and the best videos to help you guys out. Leave the comments down below of any videos you guys want me to make, and I will make them. So let me know in the comments, give this video a big thumbs up, and thank you guys, because we are on the road to 500 subscribers, guys. We're almost there. We're at 443, guys. So literally we're on that incline. So keep hitting that subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on post notifications, because guys, we're almost to 500. Thank you guys for all the support. Keep making great music, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys then.